But yeah, so my name is Nichlas Saul. I'm the co-founder and CEO of FoodUp. I'm just going to share my screen here so you can see the slides I brought with me here. So as Marianne mentioned, we are all about preventing food waste. We do that by measuring consumption and food waste in food servings, and then we feed that back to the kitchens we work with, so they can make super sharp procurements and plan their menus actually based on these data. I was actually planning on starting on this slide, but I think Marianne covered it very well, so I'm just gonna leave this one for now and start here. So we basically started 2.5 years ago. We started in a Danish production kitchen in Søborg, it's called, where they produce food for 8,000 people a day. And they basically produce all the food, package it, and then they drive it out to different types of customers. And once the food is delivered at these customer sites, they have no insights as to what's eaten and how much is left when the serving is over. And so the company operating these kitchens signed up for an EU project to really investigate what was going on, because they could also see in the budgets that they send out 500 grams per person, and very few people eat that much for lunch. So we started out by setting up cameras at these, in the beginning, 3 locations, and then the cameras actually recorded the serving, focusing on the food, of course, but people, they noticed the cameras and really didn't like it, so that was just left out very, very quickly. And then we contacted a local engineering company and came up with these scales that are still the basis of our solution today. And with these scales, we piloted 8 sites in the beginning, and the scales gave us data on how much was actually consumed in each of these customer sites. And what we saw back then is pretty much the same picture as we see today. So if we start on the left-hand side of the slide here, we've tried to break down food purchases across our customers. And we're basically present in 70 sites today. And if we look at the mapping that Marianne did before, we are present in what she called restaurants and food service. Our main market is canteens, typically in companies, and then comes caterers and public kitchens, which is mainly elderly homes, hospitals, and kindergartens, and those types of kitchens. But if we look at the food purchases today, in a canteen, or actually in all kitchens where the chef is present on site where the food is served, we typically see that 20 to 30% of the food purchases go to waste. In production kitchens, or in kitchens where food is produced in one place but served and eaten in another place, so that goes for many of the elderly homes we're present in, hospitals, and all production kitchens, of course, it's not unusual that we see that 50% of the food purchases go to waste. And then we've tried to break that down, and that's what you can see on the right hand side. So 15 to 25% happens in the production. So that's what happens in the kitchen. So that's if you procure too much, or if you prepare more than you actually end up serving. 40 to 50% happens in the serving. And of course, it varies across our customers how it's served. So this is kind of intervals across all 70. And then 20 to 30% comes from the guest plate. So from the beginning, we've basically focused on, you could say, roughly the 80% happening in the serving and the guest plate. And what we say is that it's very hard to know what people want, but also how much to prepare. And the main uncertainty, you could say, in varies across the different customer segments. So in canteens, the main uncertainty is, and also in hotels, you could say, you're quite unsure how many people are actually going to come on any given day. In hospitals and elderly homes, a lot of other things come into play. What's the appetite of the people having the meal, and so on. So what we've done is we've broken our solution down into 3 steps. Our first step is that the chef gets a digital platform to plan their menus. And here we basically connect all chefs on our platform so they can see each other's menus. And as Marianne also talked about, one of the benefits of doing that is you can basically inspire each other to use more climate-friendly menus, because that's also new for the chefs, not just for the eating guests. And therefore our users find it super helpful in that regard, that they can inspire each other. That way we can also share data on how much to prepare of different types of dishes. So you can find similar companies and then see, okay, what goes well at their side and how much does the typical guest eat of the dish. And then we also automate, signage and a lot of these administrative tasks that a kitchen have. In elderly homes and hospitals, it's also about calculating nutrition and CO2 data and all these things. Then you press go, and then the second step, we've developed scales with detachable displays. So these scales, they generate a display for each dish where you can show nutritional information, the name of the dish, the CO2 of the footprint of the dish, and then you use that so you don't have to write the display. And then you serve the dish on top of each of these small scales, and then the scales continuously measure how much is taken and how much is left when the serving is over. And then you get super detailed data on, how much is eaten per dish, what did the guests like to eat, and that's basically what we have in step 3. And most of our reportings are focused on 4 dimensions. The first dimension is food waste. The second dimension is what people like to eat. The third dimension is CO2, and the fourth one is nutritional data. So you can also share, the nutritional footprint of the serving with the eating guests, and that's very popular in Denmark among the eating guests. Also in segments where it's actually not required. Then we also have larger scales for organic bins that automatically measure how much is thrown out, and that of course supports the data from each of the dishes. And all these data, of course, also used to give super sharp procurement recommendations to the chef. So we kind of take the measurements and use them to give procurement recommendations. So so you can lower food costs, but also lower the environmental footprint. This is how it looks in real life. So this is just some pictures from one of our sites, and if we start on the left, you can see the scales with the displays, and then in the middle you can see how it looks in a serving, how these displays are used as signage for the eating guests. And then you can see, if you look at the bottom picture, actually you can see everything is just slightly off the table because you have scales underneath continuously measuring. And the same on the right hand side, you can see our scales for organic bins. They also come in different sizes. So in many kitchens today, it's a semi-manual or manual task to measure food waste and report on these things. With a scale, with the food up scale under your bin, it's completely automated, and you can just throw out as you usually do. And and then in short, you get these continuous measurements, which is super important when you base your procurements on the data. Here are some examples of different kinds of insights we share with the kitchen. And there's kind of different stakeholders in each kitchen. So for the chef, it's a lot about being inspired on menus. It's a lot about procurement recommendations and these things. And then for the eating guests, it's a lot about nutrition, CO2 data, allergens, and what's being served. And then on a more, you could say, institutional level and external stakeholder level, all these sustainability reportings are super important. So we kind of serve different stakeholders in the food service industry. And here's just a mixed range of examples. But we can basically say how much of the food you serve is actually consumed. We can see which dishes are the source of most waste. What are the most popular dishes based on times taken, and how is it split between the different menu sections you have, and they of course vary across all customer sites. And then we tie it very closely to the food cost, so you can not only record a food waste reduction, but also see it in your budgets. And once we started tying these things much closer, we've really seen strong results, because it also creates an extra incentive to really deliver on it and continuously deliver on it, even when you try out new menus and really try to push the green agenda on other areas as well, such as trying out more green menus. This is the customer journey we aim to have with all customers. So we basically start by creating a baseline. That's also what happens when you are onboarded to the platform. So the recommendations you get become much better over time. And after 2 months, the platform will start giving recommendations how much to prepare per day, per menu section, all these things. And we typically also check in. You have like a more formal check-in meeting after 1 to 2 months, once the baseline is established. And then we have some very concrete, in most cases, some very concrete insights on how to reduce food waste, and thereby also food costs. And at the same time, we learn a lot about what the guests like to eat, and how you can kind of course, not keep serving the same thing, because that's also dangerous, but we make kind of customer eating profiles in the back end, and then we say, okay, your customers like these dishes, maybe you should try serving these types of dishes because similar audiences like to eat this, and then it becomes much more varied than it was before. And of course, this also becomes better and better over time. Yeah, and then I think I'm just going to highlight the bottom one actually, because of course there's a CO2 reduction, both for more CO2 friendly dishes, but also from food waste reductions that has a impact on food costs. And then you can see what your guests like, and then there's all these CSR reporting possibilities, which is becoming more and more relevant. But then the bottom one, I think, is quite interesting. If you manage multiple sites, we enable, you can kind of set up not only a food cost budget, but you can also set up budgets for CO2. And soon we're also working with the customer to make metrics on how much animal welfare and all these things, so you can start really setting up budgets for all the sustainability metrics that are important to your organization, and then monitor all these decentral units centrally, which I think is super important and adds much more dimensions to the budgets and controls that are in place today. So that's something we're working a lot on at the moment. feel free to ask questions as we go through it. Here are some of the cases we have here in Denmark, and I've just chosen 3 that I think shows how you can use the platform in different segments within restaurants and food service. So on the far left, on the left-hand side, we have A.P. Møller Mærsk, which I'm sure all of you you know. So in their headquarter, we've basically connected chefs across all their sites, and then they've worked together on defining themes for each day. And then they work together to create more sustainable menus, and they've reduced the CO2 footprint by 25%. They haven't reduced food waste much, but they've started off with a focus on more sustainable menus and really done well in that regard. And then, of course, they have a lot of employees who benefit from more information on nutrition, CO2, and all these things, which are shared with the employees on digital screens in the canteen and internet as well. Then in Børsen, we work together with Jesper Torkø, and they were nominated to, or actually won, the best canteen in Denmark 2022. And of course, it was mainly due to a super sharp head chef, but they did also have Food Up and work with data on what the eating guests prefer to eat, which together with a super strong team of chefs, put them in place for the Kantineprisen, it's called. And then in the municipality of Copenhagen, we've worked a lot with kindergartens and elderly homes. And what we basically do there is you have a production system where you work with recipes, you can scale them up and down, and you know exactly how much you send up to each department. And then we've had a couple of scales at each department, sending back every day how much was actually thrown out of the food you sent up there. And then they could adjust how much they send up to each department. And we ended up reducing food waste by 45% so far in elderly homes, and 35 to 40% across their kindergartens. So I think that's also a case we're super proud of, and a completely different way of working with it than in these more corporate canteens. Yeah, and then I just brought some information on pricing, but I think our main message here is you can break the complete solution into 3 modules, and we do that very often. And the second key message here is also we aim at saving our customers more money than they spend. So there's a strong incentive to work with reducing food waste and also serving more environmentally friendly menus. And that was basically it. I'm looking forward to going through some questions in the Q&A.